Après-V, Codger Biker here with part 2 of the MZ engine restoration. Well, as you've seen in the previous video, link above, finally decided to remove the engine. Now, when I had this bike in 1984, I rode it for 6 years. It was a pretty reliable bike. In fact, the only thing I ever did to it was change the air filter once a year, change the gear oil once a year, and make absolutely sure that I ran it on 50-1 2-stroke to petrol. Rode it for at least 11,000 miles, never had an issue. And when I left to go to university, my good friend, Torian Love Savage, seen here,
stay away from hot top, whatever you do. Stay away from hot top, whatever you do. It's hot top.
Took the bike and rode it for a few months. And then one day, he told me that the exhaust snapped and he had it welded back together again. There is evidence of that in this photograph from when I collected the bike 30 years later. One suspicious thing he said, he reckoned it cost him £100 to have the exhaust welded, which in today's money is £350. That seemed like an awful lot of money just for one bodgy exhaust weld. As was hinted in the previous video.
Yeah, this head was off in the past.
Was it?
Yeah.
Not by me. Things are not quite as the wild donkey man had told me.
You should know. I get cut short a lot at my age, so you may have to empty this tank. It's not petrol.
As is common with old two-strokes, it smoked like mad. I assumed it was just the seals that had gone. Maybe, at worst, a new bearing might be required. When I arrived at Rob's secret MZ headquarters... Secret location in South Gloucestershire, but the weather's amazing, isn't it? This is Rob, who is the #1 engine master for MZ in the UK, if not Europe. Is that correct?
No. Well, I'm working to become one.
If you want to contact him, check out his Instagram. And he's going to do some work on my engine, which has been with my life for 40 years, so I'm trusting him with it, and I love it, and I know when it comes back it's going to be perfect. Now, many people had recommended Rob to me as the man for the job. I thought I was going just to have some seals changed, maybe some bearings, quick job, get it back. But we agreed beforehand that he would take the engine apart, examine it, and then decide what needed to be done. Like all the best laid plans, didn't turn out to be as simple as I'd hoped. As far as I knew, this engine had never been touched.
Yeah, this head was off in the past.
Was it?
Yeah.
Not by me?
Non-standard nuts.
Not by me. Over the next few weeks, Rob sent me photographs of the damage inside the engine, and it became clear that not only had someone been inside the cases, but that there must have been a catastrophic explosion in there at some point, and somebody who wasn't au fait with MZs had rebuilt it.
I'm able to split it without a cooler and the tools. So yeah, crank is definitely shut. Okay, so we were missing all the shims for a clutch basket. There should be 2 shims on the bottom. Sits like this. 2 shims on the bottom. Basket goes like this, and there should be another shim, like a thrust washer on top, so that's why it rocks, because it wasn't pressed down. So I will have to measure diameter of the journal inside the basket, and we'll see how good it is or how bad it is. Someone was definitely here, you can see.
Seems to me that the wild donkey man was holding back on me. So I contacted him and got him to confess. Here's what he said.
Hello there. You might remember me from a video a few years ago. I'm the wild donkey man. You know why they call me the wild donkey, don't you? I used to own the old MZ. It's petrol tank with my toilet, for 30 dirty years. Anyway, old Codger, he want me to tell you about the time when the old MZ blew up. Well, that's a little bit dramatic, and there's not an awful lot to it, to be honest with you. Let me see now. I was riding down Borough Road just outside of Skegness. I was always very popular on that road. People waving, pipping their horns as I zigzag along the road at 25 miles an hour. And all of a sudden, there was this horrible smell. Well, I knew I hadn't followed through that day, so I knew it was serious. There was all this melty stuff all over the spark plug, dripping on the floor, bit like that melty robot from the Terminator films. Pushed it all the way back to Skegness, borderline. Cost me a bag of chips and a pickled egg to get it sorted out. But I hear it cost old Codger a darn sight more than that to get it rectumed. Hey, do you know who's in there? My girlfriend. She's made out of cardboard. Anyway, must get off. Got to tend to the sheep.
So finally, the truth. Seems that back in 1991, the engine blew up completely at the side of the road, and from the evidence that Rob found inside, it had had a rebore, it had a new piston, and whoever had repaired it had done the best they could, but they obviously weren't MZ specialists. And best of all, they'd left various bits and pieces out of the engine. So here's a list of everything that had to be replaced, and it just got more and more expensive as we went along. So Rob, thank you very much. Very little work, wasn't there, that? Not much to do at all. Was it just like open it up and put it back together again, really?
Almost, yeah.
So what did you do?
Well, first we stripped it down, cleaned the third unit parts washer, then it was all aluminium parts, bottom and top and sent to vapor blasted.
Vapor blasted. Nothing else?
Yeah, well...
Clutch was alright, was it?
Clutch itself was okay, but the primary drive was worn out, basket had excessive play. Well, so
do you think it had been put back together correctly?
No.
Didn't you say there was a spacer missing?
There was loads of things missing. Spacer,
missing?
There's a secure nut for...
But it had never been opened.
Well...
Are you suggesting that someone's been in there?
Absolutely.
There was all this melty stuff all over the spark plug, dripping on the floor, bit like that melty robot from the Terminator films.
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't look like this, did it?
No.
So then it was the clutch basket,
crankshaft. It's a genuine old stock crankshaft.
Yeah.
Because we could not get a replaced pattern.
So did you need to rebore it? Rob,
no.
At all?
No.
Why did you not need to rebore it?
Because it was rebored. It's
already been rebored.
Yeah,
how's that managed when no one's been in it before?
Well,
how can they rebore it without going in?
Could be just magic.
Have you ever? So what we know is someone's been in it.
Yeah, someone was there and without particular knowledge about MZ engines.
Yeah, so
they must have some knowledge.
Yeah,
but it wasn't
not,
put right.
Not specific to MZs, they were.
Well, they're wrong bearings, shielded bearings.
Wrong bearings.
Seals. Seals. One of the seals was still original. Seals generally can be.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. Just.
The clutch was the main thing, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Clutch basket.
Yeah, I've been riding this at 60 miles an hour flat out.
Well, it wouldn't cause any catastrophic failure.
No, but it has had a catastrophic failure. Would you suggest?
Yeah.
At some point. Anyway. Thanks to Rob, the mystery was solved, the engine's been rebuilt, and it looks almost brand new. In the next episode, we'll see if me and Dr. J can get that engine back in the bike. Thanks for watching. Oh, and thanks to She Who Must Be Obeyed, who paid for all this work for my Christmas present. True love. Codger Biker is extremely grateful. Thank you. And I'm out.